Welcome everybody to another edition of Racer X Films. I'm Pete Martini, filling in for the one and only David Pingree, who's out fighting fires here in Southern California for us. We're at Milestone MX Park, and we're here with Husqvarna to go through the 18.5 Husqvarna Rockstar Edition FC 450. From a technical standpoint, they lightened the bike up, which they're always looking to do to improve swing weight on the bike. To start with, they took the head and slimmed that down, still running the single overhead cam. They're running a billet recluse clutch cover with new internals there. FMF's been involved with the factory exhaust system here. That's all new. Pro Taper has been involved with the factory edition bend on the handlebar. And all these things coupled together bring together a lighter weight, more nimble handling bike. On the cosmetic side as well, you'll notice they switched to a black frame, which is different this year. The graphics are new, as well as the split side panels, which incorporate into the subframe, which is unique. And the subframe is a lot stiffer as well. And also they offered, on the technical side, a stiffer upper triple clamp. This bike was designed with the goal of offering increased rigidity, something that helps handling. They also offered a carbon fiber skid plate this year. And of course, we use the same WP suspension. And just to kind of tie back to the factory team, they have the whole shot device added to the front fork. All right, so we just got off the track, and I want to say, first impression, overall the bike, to me, really does just everything a little bit better than the 18. And full disclosure, I'm actually riding the 18 now as my personal bike, and I did come off the 17 as well, so fairly familiar with the characteristics of this bike and the other applications. And again, I think my first impression, I don't think I know, is that everything's just a little bit sharper. That's my initial response, and after a few motos, definitely feel that way. And to me, that was a huge sigh of relief. A lot of times, a new model will come out and you're used to riding the older version, and the new one is such a drastic change, it takes a minute to adjust. Not the case here at all. Felt comfortable right away. We changed just a few things of the stock settings that the bike is recommended to come with for 510, 170 vet rider like myself. I went 2 clicks softer on the fork in my second moto, and felt like that was a perfect setting for me. Now we're here at Milestone, as you guys know, today, so the track is fairly flat. There's not a lot of elevation change, so you can, pretty much get comfortable with every setting, full disclosure, or any setting rather. But I thought I wanted to make that point to let you guys know. We just did 2 clicks, felt very comfortable with what was going on, really in the stock recommendation application. So really impressed, first impression, really like it. And today the conditions, track was perfect. It was a little bit sloppy at first. Typical Milestone, when you first get out on the track, it's a little bit wet, a little bit snotty. Traction control here was solid. Used it in a few corners and felt the difference right away. And I think, that's something to take into consideration. That's an application that comes stock on this bike, and not a lot of bikes are that way. So when you do get in the conditions where you're running into slop and maybe it's really slippery, you can literally on the fly use the traction control and remedy that situation. Also want to point out, I think walking it back a little bit in the intro, I mentioned some of the changes on the bike. I want to clarify, the geometry of the frame is actually the same. The only change really was cosmetic, going from the white frame to the black frame on the factory edition Rockstar here. The triple clamp is wider, so there's a little bit of a rigidity situation there. To me, I noticed the characteristics of the bike, again, being a little bit sharper, entering corners, and to me that was a huge bonus. Also a change that was done that I maybe didn't mention early on is the radiators are lowered a little bit, giving that center of gravity in the main center of the bike just a little bit lower. And coupled with the cylinder head being a little bit smaller, makes the bike a little bit lighter weight. some of the faster guys out here definitely were making those comments that it felt a little bit more flickable for them. Being the vet guy out here, you know, to me, everything was just a little bit sharper. To reiterate one more time my feeling on the bike. Overall, really impressed. I want to thank Husqvarna for having us out here today. Andy Jefferson and his crew did a great job. And you'll be able to get these bikes in late February of 2018. Check your local dealer. Thank you. And we're back. Zeus's beard. See Dick run. See Jane go.